What if I told you that the most notorious serial killer in history was never caught? Imagine that. A chilling mystery that has intrigued and terrified generations. The man in question, none other than the infamous Jack the Ripper. Let's set the scene. The year is 1888, a period of profound social upheaval. The city, London, the heart of the British Empire, but not the gleaming metropolis we know today. No, this is the London of gas lamps and cobblestones, of shadowy alleyways and foggy nights, a city ripe for mischief and malevolence. In the midst of this, in the downtrodden district of Whitechapel, a sinister character emerges from the shadows, a character who would soon become the stuff of nightmares, the embodiment of every dark alleyway fear. He was named by the press as Jack the Ripper. His targets, women of the night, vulnerable and forgotten by society. Their end, brutal and inhumane. The nature of these murders was not just horrifying but also perplexingly intricate, leading many to believe that the Ripper was no ordinary madman, but perhaps someone with surgical knowledge. 5 victims, 5 gruesome ends, all within a few months. The city was gripped with terror, the police were baffled, and the world watched in morbid fascination as the shadowy figure of the Ripper danced his macabre waltz through the streets of Whitechapel. And then, as abruptly as the murders started, they stopped. The Ripper vanished, melting back into the shadows from which he emerged, leaving behind a trail of unsolved murders and a legacy of fear that lingers to this day. No arrest, no closure, just a chilling question that hangs in the air of London's East End. Who was Jack the Ripper? Now let us delve into the foggy streets of Whitechapel, where our story begins. A story that takes us into the heart of darkness, into a world where the line between man and monster blurs, and where the most terrifying tales are those that remain unresolved. London's East End, 1888, where terror struck in the heart of the night. This was an era when the city was bustling with life, yet it was also a place where an eerie darkness loomed in the shadows. In the labyrinthine streets and narrow alleyways of the East End, the common folk lived in a state of constant trepidation. In the midst of this thriving but troubled community, a gruesome event occurred that sent shockwaves through the city and beyond. The first murder, a crime so heinous, it was as if the very essence of dread had taken form. A woman, her life unexpectedly and brutally extinguished, marked the beginning of a reign of terror that would etch itself forever in the annals of criminal history. The city was gripped by fear. The perpetrator, known only as Jack the Ripper, was at large. His grisly deeds painted a ghastly picture that haunted the dreams of those who heard tales of his cruelty. The streets, once filled with the sounds of everyday life, echoed with a deafening silence as people hurried home, fearing they might be the next victims. The police were baffled, the press was in a frenzy, and the people, they were terrified. The Ripper's reign of terror had begun. Each murder more gruesome than the last, he seemed to strike without reason, without remorse. His victims found in the dead of night, their lives taken in the most horrifying of ways. But then, something strange happened. As quickly as the wave of terror had descended upon London, it ceased. The murders stopped. The shadow that had loomed over the city lifted, leaving behind only a chilling memory of the fear it had instilled. The people breathed a sigh of relief, but the question remained: where had the Ripper gone? Had he simply vanished, or was he biding his time, waiting to strike again? And then, as swiftly as it had begun, the killing stopped. But the legend of Jack the Ripper lived on, his story forever a chilling reminder of the reign of terror that once gripped the heart of London. Who was Jack the Ripper? This question has puzzled investigators for over a century. Over the years, countless theories and suspects have emerged, each more tantalizing and horrifying than the last, adding to the intrigue and mystery surrounding the case. Let's delve into some of these hypotheses. Perhaps the most well-known theory is that Jack the Ripper was a surgeon or a butcher, due to the precise and knowledgeable nature of his gruesome crimes. A name often associated with this theory is Dr. Thomas Neil Cream, a doctor with a dark past who was in London at the time of the murders. His knowledge of anatomy and his criminal record make him a compelling suspect, but the web of suspicion doesn't stop there. Another theory posits that Jack the Ripper was none other than the renowned author Lewis Carroll. Supporters of this theory point to anagrams in Carroll's works that they believe reveal his guilt. However, this theory is widely regarded as one of the more outlandish in the Ripper's lore. Adding another layer of horror to the tale, letters began to appear, allegedly from the Ripper himself. The most chilling of these, the From Hell letter, was sent to a London news agency, accompanied by half of a preserved human kidney. The sender claimed to have eaten the other half. Whether these letters were genuinely from the Ripper, or simply the work of opportunistic pranksters, is still debated by experts. Other theories suggest that Jack the Ripper could have been a woman, a theory referred to as Jill the Ripper, or even a member of the royal family. The latter theory, known as the Royal Conspiracy, implicates Prince Albert Victor, the grandson of Queen Victoria, though this has been largely debunked by historians. Despite all these theories, the true identity of Jack the Ripper remains obscured in the mists of time. While we may never know who lurked in the shadows of Whitechapel all those years ago, the fascination with this unsolved mystery continues to endure, making Jack the Ripper a legendary figure in the realm of horror. The Ripper's legacy is one of fear, fascination, and unsolved mystery. A chilling statement indeed, but one that encapsulates the lasting impact of the crimes committed by this unknown entity, this phantom of the night known as Jack the Ripper. In the aftermath of the Ripper's reign of terror, society was changed. An undercurrent of fear ran through the streets of London, an echo of the dread that once held the city in its icy grip. People began to question their safety, their neighbors, even their own shadows. This paranoia prompted greater scrutiny of the police and their methods, leading to reforms in law enforcement and forensic science that still resonate today. Yet, despite the fear, there arose a strange fascination with the Ripper. This wasn't just a criminal. This was a specter, a boogeyman, a riddle wrapped in an enigma. And as human beings, we are drawn to the unexplained, the unknown, the mysterious. The Ripper became a figure of dark intrigue, a morbid curiosity that drew us in and refused to let go. This fascination with the Ripper has permeated popular culture, with countless books, films, and television series dedicated to unraveling the mystery. Each adaptation offers a different perspective, a new theory, a fresh clue, fueling our obsession with this unsolved enigma. The Ripper's tale has been retold, reimagined, and reinvented multiple times, yet the core mystery remains unsolved, keeping us forever on the edge of our seats, forever in suspense. And so, the Ripper's legacy endures, not just in the fear he instilled, not just in the fascination he sparked, but in the enduring mystery that surrounds his identity. This mystery captivates us, draws us in, keeps us guessing. It serves as a chilling reminder of the unknown, of the darkness that lurks in the shadows, of the monsters that walk among us. Perhaps we will never know who Jack the Ripper was, but his shadow continues to haunt us. And as long as the mystery remains unsolved, the Ripper's legacy will continue to fascinate, to terrify, to captivate us. Because in the end, we are all drawn to the darkness, to the unknown, to the mystery, and Jack the Ripper is all that and more. So, there we have it, a journey through the foggy streets of Victorian London, in the footsteps of Jack the Ripper. We've ventured into the heart of darkness, tracing the shadowy figure who once gripped the city in a reign of terror. His crimes, brutal and cold-blooded, still send shivers down the spine, even after more than a century. This tale is one of horror, a bloody chapter in the annals of true crime, where an unknown assailant, shrouded in mystery, brought a city to its knees. And yet, it's not just the gruesome nature of the crimes that captivates us. It's the enigma that surrounds Jack the Ripper, the unanswered questions that keep us coming back, time and again, to this chilling tale. We've explored the theories, dissected the suspects, and yet the identity of Jack the Ripper remains elusive. Was he a doctor, a butcher, a member of the royal family? The speculation is endless, the theories as numerous as the cobblestones on Whitechapel streets. And while we may never have a definitive answer, the quest for truth, the allure of the mystery, keeps the legend alive. In the aftermath, we're left with a legacy of fear and fascination. Jack the Ripper, a name synonymous with horror, remains one of the most infamous figures in criminal history. His story, a grim reminder of the depths to which humanity can sink, continues to haunt us. Yet, it also serves as a testament to our enduring fascination with the macabre, our insatiable curiosity for the unknown. If you enjoyed this chilling journey, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. We've got plenty more mysteries to unravel. From unsolved crimes to unexplained phenomena, we delve into the darkest corners of history and the human psyche. Remember, we all have secrets. Some are just deadlier than others.